As an arriving storm stirs Main Street, you're about to witness one of Bozeman's growing challenges, one in which each of us can make an immediate difference. Within minutes of rain arriving, people are jumping over puddles and running for cover. Unable to soak into hard surfaces, rain is flowing off everything to drains and into a system of underground pipes. It's happening all over our growing city as we replace our natural sponges, open lands that absorb rain and snowmelt, and wetlands that hold water for us, with impervious surfaces that stormwater can't soak into. The good part of Bozeman's stormwater system is it protects our homes and businesses by moving water away from foundations and reduces the chances of flooding. The bad part is water running across hard surfaces picks up whatever has accumulated.
All the pollutants that exist on the city surface, like oils and greases, fertilizers, dog waste, trash, sediment, all that stuff gets taken with the water.
Where the accumulated pollution goes is crucial. The pipes inside our storm drains are separate from our sewer system. Stormwater does not go to a treatment plant. It flows directly to our local streams and ponds. At stake is the health of places Bozeman residents cherish, where we introduce kids to water, exercise our dogs, and renew ourselves in the presence of fish and wildlife. Places like Story Mill, not just enhanced by water, but defined by water, where you might see much more than deer, like trout spawning in the East Gallatin River, or a muskrat heading out on his evening rounds. With these hallmarks of Bozeman in mind, Kyle Marins of the city's Stormwater Division wishes we could all see what sometimes pours from outfalls like this one.
A black sludge coming out of the pipe. And that black sludge is the result of sediment and trash, fertilizer, grass clippings. It's very shocking. It's something that everyone should see, because if you see it, it's going to dramatically change the way you manage your yard. Because once you establish this connection in your mind that what I'm doing in my yard or driveway or road in front of my house is going to end up here and end up in this water resource, it's alarming and it's frankly disturbing.
The city hopes each of us will think about stormwater like Bozeman resident Amber Zander is as she traces where oil-laced runoff is going. Or as Lauren Waterton is. On a shining day on Pete's Hill, she and other volunteers of the organization Run Dog Run are picking up what dog owners have missed in preceding months. Waterton says the key is recognition.
You know, that everything that we leave on the ground eventually ends up in our watershed, and you know, whether it's our dog's poop or anything else, litter, trash, things like that, that it all affects the water quality here and downstream.
The city's dog stations do make an enormous difference. Here's how much was scooped up and placed in the provided bins in 2016.
So that's Pete's Hill.
The red circles are roughly 6,000 pounds of dog waste. Orange, 3,000 pounds.
You can see where the waste is being picked up. It's along Bozeman Creek.
Bozeman Creek is beautiful, but it has an E. coli problem from dog waste. There are still too many dog owners not heeding the signs and doing their part.
And we can solve this. Just pick up the poop.
City workers do many different things, often with fascinated audiences, to keep our underground system capable of moving water when it needs to. Here, with a giant vacuum, they're sucking out accumulated pollutants, stuff that got into the streets from our landscapes and driveways. Now they're easing a remote control camera into the manhole, guiding it into clay pipes that are up to 90 years old. This is how they identify sections of pipe that are cracking so badly they could fail.
You can get to something before it turns into a disaster.
So the markings you see in your neighborhood are where they go in and replace, say, 20 feet of pipe to avoid water getting out and creating a sinkhole, which would be dangerous and require much greater expense. Each fall, we see the massive leaf pickup operation when crews clear up to 1,000 tons of leaves. What most of us don't see is what gets vacuumed out of the system and disposed of in a better place. Crews aren't judgmental, but they hope residents realize it's impossible to intercept everything headed to the creek. So the health of our streams really depends on us.
Even your grass clippings that you mow and you blow into the curb line, you know, the nitrogen in the grass gets in the creeks, and that's not good for the fish and stuff in the creeks. So just be aware of what you're putting in the curb, because it's going to end up in the creeks, unless I can get to it first.
The city says small actions by each of us will make a big difference for our streams, like sweeping clippings and fertilizer off hard surfaces, fixing that leaky vehicle, and putting in landscapes that allow stormwater to soak in instead of racing to the nearest drain. Even hardscapes, thanks to the innovation of permeable pavers, can allow water to soak in. We can have the benefits of hard surfaces in our patios and driveways, alleyways and parking lots, while also reducing stormwater runoff.
What do trout eat? Bugs, that's right.
At Sacagawea Middle School, students are envisioning how everything adds up.
Bugs like to live on rocks, like small gravel. But if you cover all that small gravel with sediment, the bug habitat is gone, so the fish lose their food source.
There's a lot of grassy areas, so there's probably fertilizer on them.
This is all the storm drains in the East Main Street right here.
With parks laid out on the hallway floor and plastic beads and Tootsie Rolls to symbolize fertilizer and dog waste, they're simulating a rainstorm.
Push that pollution down the river. This is not getting treated.
The cumulative effects of that, shown really well in today's lesson by bringing, the park pollutants all together.
It's things that when I was growing up in Wisconsin, we didn't talk about.
It's hopeful, he says, thinking that one of these kids may be a future city engineer or mayor of Bozeman. In the meantime, the city asks that we all stay tuned, because it plans to keep talking about how each of us can help reduce the impact stormwater is having on our local streams.